ones who deserve revenge.
I consider myself a really nice person. I mean, I'm probably
Why
one of the
you say
last
no?
few people to ever really get angry at anybody or any situation I've ever been in. I'm
Yeah.
low-key chill most of the time. Whether it was something that really looked like it took the piss out of me, an embarrassing moment that got everyone and their mom laughing at me, potentially ruining my self-esteem forever, or worst case scenario, I get the wrong order at my local fast food restaurant and it's vegan. Okay, so I might crash out a little bit. The point is that in most issues I've ever faced in my life, the worst reaction I've ever had toward most of them is just laughing my ass off, because I think 99% of life's problems are funny. Maybe it's just my coping mechanism, but I couldn't care less about the bad things I've gone through, because one minute I could be deep in how bad it was, beat my head about it, and then the next, I'm watching Kitchen Nightmares and laughing my ass off at Gordon crashing out. It's hilarious. And I know I come up as some guy who sounds like he gets mad all the time, rages out, and breaks everything aside.
That's a crazy picture.
But trust me, I am as peaceful and as tranquil as a monk in Tibet. I am truly blessed enough to call myself a chill person.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be today though. You know me, man. I'm about to break the whole set.
Yeah, I do, Vel, and I did it.
Forget that, man. You see me, I go crazy on this thing. If a guy messes up my order at my local chicken shop, best believe I'm gonna go straight home, run upstairs, and start writing his name in the death note like crazy. Me and Lyle, we share the same mindset. Sorry guys, don't mess up when it comes to that fried chicken. I'm not gonna mess with. I'm not playing these games. But I digress. Revenge is the greatest achievement one can have. To seek vengeance against those who persecute you tastes sweeter than the fruit of the highest heavens. Better than ice cream at the best ice cream parlor. More flavorsome than that Popeye's fried chicken. I ordered some a couple of days ago. I love it. And I'm here today to
I love it.
some characters that truly deserves revenge against anyone who did them wrong in their life, because it was really the right thing for them to do. So without any more yapping, let's get into it, man.
Man. Shadow the Hedgehog.
Shadow the Hedgehog, by far, is one of the coldest side characters of all time. I mean, he's like Sonic, but edgier, and he's got a gun. He's tough.
And cooler,
Ever
yeah.
since I was a kid, I loved Sonic growing up. And what made me more attached to the franchise than the blue blur himself was this man right here, Shadow the Hedgehog. And in my opinion, he's probably the best written character in the whole of Sonic, low-key. Most of these guys don't really have concrete backstories, besides Knuckles being part of a tribe whose mission is to guard the Master Emerald, or you know, you have people like Tails and Amy who basically just bum ride Sonic. There's not a lot to go off here. Most of these men are just here to fill up the roster and just get more characters in. But Shadow ain't like that. He went through some messed up shit in his life, to the point where if you look at it from an objective standpoint, he should have blown up the earth, man. What are we talking about here? These guys were dickheads to him. If you're not familiar with Shadow's past and why I said that, let me give you the rundown real quick. Shadow the Hedgehog was created by Dr. Gerald Robotnik, Eggman's granddad, who worked alongside a government agency.
Yeah, man, Shadow has one of the most tragic origin stories in all of Sonic, bro. Like, come on, man. And also, I do have game channel. I do. It's called Jotchkin Gaming. If you didn't know that, it's literally right here. Look, I literally have the look. I have the whole Resident Evil Devil May Cry gameplay on here. Look. Yeah! What's good, y'all? Today we're diving head in first into Resident Evil 4 Remake. And then every time I do that, I get on fire. Some bull. See? The whole game, my boy. Yo, jiggle physics. Duh. Yo, jizzle physics. Nice. Yeah, man, I have the whole video. If you literally ever want to watch it, like, no one checks this out, but I do. I play this. I wasn't even born. Hallelujah. See? I have a whole bunch. DMC4. You ever want to watch? Just watch that channel, man. Hey, hey, what you say? All right, back to this.
Named Gun. Studios name to run a project nicknamed Project Shadow. It where Gun's sole objective to this matter was to create a being nicknamed the Ultimate Lifeform for their own selfish reasons. You know the government, man, they're evil. Or as Gerald agreed to do this under the influence that he could heal his granddaughter, Maria, of her terminal illness by using Project Shadow. Now, before Gerald eventually creates the GOAT himself, he had a prototype before him that failed miserably. Where he tried to use a lizard in his experiment to create the ultimate life form, and it just became this guy. Gerald's first attempt was by creating the Biolysm, which is also the final boss of Sonic Adventure 2. And he's Shadow's half-brother. Shadow kills his family, man. That's that.
Damn.
With the Biolizard being seen as a failed experiment, Gerald was disheartened. He was upset at the fact that these failed attempts weren't bringing him any closer to finding a cure for Maria, which was his goal in the first place.
Maria!
Sending Gerald into doing some more investigations and digging into chaos energy in general. Now this, my friends, is where it gets a little bit techie. Because what I'm about to share with you, man, right now, I'm pretty sure isn't canon, but it makes way too much sense as to why Shadow was a hedgehog in the first place. It's too much of a coincidence. With Gerald looking into chaos energy more, he finds himself going to Angel Island to investigate the Master Emerald and the 7 Chaos Emeralds, with him eventually stumbling across a palace, and in the palace was a mural. And the mural was of Supersonic being a giant robot. And this made sense. He sees an overpowered hedgehog on a mural in an ancient temple. Boom! He now has the template to make Shadow a hedgehog. It just makes sense. But even with this new revelation Gerald made, something was still missing. Even though he now has the template and the chaos...
Ja, who's your favorite player? Who's my favorite player and what? Ja's still a teenager? I am not a teenager. I'm not a teenager. I am not 24. I'm 23, not 24. But I was not boring still. And Ja, who's your favorite player? Who's my favorite player and what? Basketball player? My favorite basketball player was Kobe Bryant.
Knowledge on how to make the ultimate life form, he still didn't have the right DNA to make it work. Otherwise, he might have just got a repeat of the Biolizard. And that lizard is literally on life support. It's cooked. And this, my people, is where one of the greatest Sonic villains makes his appearance. Black Doom. He strikes a deal with Gerald where he's like,
I bet I'm gonna give you my blood, but in 50 years time, I'm coming back to take over Earth. I'm talking about some scale invasion type shit. I'm coming to kill all the people on this planet. Like I'm definitely gonna kill your family too. And I need them Chaos Emeralds. They look tough as hell, man.
And even after hearing all of that, Gerald is just like, cool, and agrees to it. He don't even give a crap that he just signed the Earth away. He just needs his blood real quick. He's mental. So with this deal being finalized, Gerald puts all his knowledge, craft, resources, and new DNA into creating the GOAT himself. And Shadow the Hedgehog is born. The ultimate life form. The coldest Sonic character
Shadow.
I mean, look at him boxing with Emerald. He was being born into the world.
This video is turning to the Shadow Glades, but I'm loving it.
Government did not like this shit at all. The second they found out that he was part alien, and it was over. They became racist.
Bro, what is this song, bro?
What? Alien? Alien? No, no. Blow up the station. Kill everyone in the research facility. And the move. Burn the alien now. So with that being said, the gun agency get into the space station where Shadow was at and bomb rush the station. They start lighting up everything in there, kill a bunch of workers, shooting everything. They're going crazy. Everyone's panicking. And then Shadow is dragging Maria to one of the escape pods to try and save her life. Boom. Maria gets caught in the crossfire, ultimately sacrificing herself to send Shadow in an escape pod to Earth. And Maria was like Maria, bro. He grew up with her, made him feel like he was at home and wasn't just a weapon made for the government's sake. That's the messed up part about it. They were bare close with each other and she humanized him in a way. And these guys killed a kid. I'm not gonna lie though, the way the Sonic fanbase acted around this was hilarious.
No, so that's crazy. No,
pick him up, throw him in some next up offside base somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and just steal the guy for until college. Then 50 years later, Sonic Adventure 2 happens. Eggman breaks him out. He does a bunch of criminal shit. Sonic gets
almost at 70K, guys.
He gets put in jail. Shadow and Eggman plot to destroy the Earth. Sonic and the Mandem get to the space colony Ark to fight Eggman, Shadow, and Rouge. Shadow gets an epiphany and becomes a good guy, and then he sacrifices himself at the end of the game, using up all his energy to save the Earth from the Eclipse cannon, leading to him plummeting to his own death. And this was so sad. Damn. This shit broke my heart as a kid, man. I used to be crying over it. And then he came back right after that in Heroes. But throughout the series after this, Shadow just comes off as more of an anti-hero than a villain. He goes about doing a bunch of freelance work, helping out people. Even eventually working for Gun. How are you working for them? They killed your sister.
Damn, this is a dead-ass Shadow video.
Shadow has one of the biggest puzzles I've ever seen for me to think this guy should finesse everyone. He got messed over by the government. They killed his sister and threw his dad in jail.
Yeah, it's well-deserved. Everything Shadow did is well-deserved. I understand. Who's the next character wait? Come on.
Chaos Emeralds and fight Black Doom on his once.
I know you like Shadow.
Even though the government and other people like Eggman still weren't messing with him at the same time and were also being enemies to him. They were taking the piss. His moral complex needs to be studied real real talk. Shadow should say F the world. There's a cutscene in Shadow Generations where he's racing Sonic, and he's about to literally take his life right here with his new powers. And he's better than me. Otherwise, I would have deleted this guy off the planet, man. I don't play with that shit. Like Timon once said, when the world turns its back on you, you turn your back on the world. All in all though, I'm happy my boy decided to become a good guy. He's the GOAT, man. Now,
not Kratos, bro.
I've been asked a lot of times to bring up Kratos in a reasonable Crash Outs video. So I decided to put Kratos in this video since he matches up with the title perfectly. Also, if you're a fan of me, this is basically Reasonable Crash Out 6. So it is what it is. But Kratos from his time in Greece has to have some of the most deserved vengeance plots I've ever seen to date. I mean, some things he did were mad questionable and definitely weren't right, but the majority of what Kratos went through for his time serving the gods and then throwing him into a bunch of bullshit is the perfect excuse for his get back. From the minute he started serving Ares, forming a pact between them, which enslaved Kratos into doing a bunch of shady shit for him, with Ares eventually betraying this man by manipulating him into murdering his wife and child.
Yeah, and this is why everything Kratos did is honestly valid, bruh.
Which is already enough for him to crash out, but we're not even done here. Then he kept working for the gods for another 10 years to get rid of the nightmares he had about slaughtering his own family. With the gods even saying themselves, if you kill Ares,
yes, I do.
we'll forgive you. Get rid of all your past sins. Which I'm guessing Kratos is assuming they get rid of his nightmares too. Plus, he began revenge against Ares, and that's all the guy wanted at the time. With the only method at the time to defeat Ares being to use Pandora's box. And as soon as Kratos got the box and started to open it, Ares just dashes a whole beam at him like his darts and finishes the man. He got deleted. Then he got sent to hell and had to escape it, with it ending in him reaching the box and
that's a Dragon Ball music.
Finish Ares off, and he took his place as the god of war. But the Pantheon, they didn't like him. No one.
Have a picture?
Rated him as the ghost of Sparta, so he was out here doing his own thing, eventually leading to him and Athena to start scrapping, with Zeus helping out Kratos by throwing him the Blade of Olympus so he can defeat Athena's giant. But there was a twist here. This bitch-ass Zeus betrayed Kratos. He gave him the Blade of Olympus so he could pour all his new godlike power into it, so he would be drained of it, making him mortal again, just so Zeus could come in and kill Kratos, sending him back to the underworld again. And I know he was mad here. That's a piss take. The guy was literally just there. And you want to know why Zeus even killed Kratos to begin with? It's because there was a prophecy said that Zeus would die at the hands of a marked mortal, as part of a cycle he was in, that his son would overthrow Helios' ugly ass. Hercules, he was just chatting a bunch of shit and got murked. They all suck because no god in Greek mythology is a match for the powers and the abilities of the button mashing of the circle button at the bottom right corner. It's unbeatable. Gaia also betrays Kratos like the bum she is, but it didn't matter because Kratos still ended up making his way to Zeus to run the fade with him, eventually leading him to eviscerate Zeus by shanking him and Gaia's heart at the same time, and even pummeling Zeus like Invincible did against Angstrom. It was crazy. But as sweet as his revenge was, Olympus became beyond repair, bruv. It was done. It basically started looking like Detroit. It was terrible. And with Athena's ghost wanting to use the power Kratos gained from Pandora's box again to become the ruler of a new world, Kratos takes himself out with the Blade of Olympus and gets the power Athena's selfish ass wanted for herself, which ended the ghost of Sparta's time in Greece. And when we get to Norse mythology, Kratos ain't done nothing wrong, man. This guy wanted to live in his shack in the middle of nowhere with his son in peace. But why is it that with him wanting to do something as simple as that, someone has to try him every couple
and everyone pulled up on Kratos, bruh. Everyone pulled up on Kratos here.
of months? Like this guy Boulder just appearing at his house in the middle of nowhere, begging for the one-on-one. Or Magni and Moldy really
Instagram job. What is Instagram job?
Away, fleeing the fight like this is Pokemon. He's garbage. Just to later get mugged by Atreus. And Thor? I actually like Thor, I'm not gonna lie. I thought his fights were amazing, especially this part. It was too hype, man, too hype. But as for the rest of the gods he's fought, Odin, Heimdall, who's foresight and weaving men, weave, and anyone else, they suck. You should have all jumped Kratos when you had the chance instead of just aura farming. What's wrong with you, man, here? What went through your heads when you heard the nickname Ghost of Sparta? Or even when you first found out what Kratos did? You might should have known your place real quick. Kratos literally lost all his family, took revenge against the gods who ruined his life, then tried to turn a new leaf just for more people to try and mess with him. I want the gods, man, they're terrible.
Yuji, yeah, Yuji's
Now,
also
with the
valid, man.
release of JJK season 3 so far,
Yuji's death valid.
fire recently, man. It's been going crazy. I know that Mappa animators are tired as hell, slaving away 24/7, working their asses off to make sure those episodes are fire, and they haven't disappointed yet. They delivered every single time. I mean, this one scene alone with Yuji and Hakari is better than the whole of One Punch Man season 3. But I'm getting off topic here. Itadori's whole bug out on Mahito at the end of the Shibuya arc was like one of the most satisfying things I've ever seen in my life. Cause Lord knows I hate this guy, bro. His breath stinks, man. He's annoying, stupid. I just can't stand him. This guy just looked like he was a widow from Jump. I've always been suspicious of the guy from his weird ass curse technique, modifying and turning himself and people into a bunch of weird shit. Him rage baiting and finding most shit funny, or even just the stitches across his face, making him look like something out of a horror movie. I just never liked him. From the moment Mahito did what I thought was the impossible by killing Junpei, who I thought would have survived until the end of the series because he was in the damn opening, and when he turned him into this King K. Rool lookalike, I was just like, wait. Ew, man, he's ugly. One Mahito, man. I hate this guy from the start of the show to Shibuya, where this bitch has killed one of the greatest characters in the whole show, Nanami. And this guy was so fire. His whole curse technique with the whole ratio bullshit, which in short basically let the guy hit crits on people like this was one game, was such a sick power. I mean, he was definitely gonna die anyway. Half his body was burned off. But why did Mahito have to kill him? He's terrible. And then he packed off Nobara as well? He's a bitch. And look at how he had my boy Yuji deep in his life.
Yeah.
He looks like me when I see a match paper. It's just that everything wasn't that serious to him, and he's just a serial rage baiter. He's a piss take.
How the he third if he almost doesn't talk? What do you mean?
To see Todo and Itadori just jump this bug, Todo losing his hand.
Ja, you do not want to watch this? What do you mean? I'm not saying much. Yeah, I'm not saying much, but it ain't much to say because I just agree with it, honestly. So I agree with all of this.
Face of a Black Flash? It made me so happy, bro. I'm just a Mahito hater. And that fight was elite.
What did Mahito do to you, gang?
And they start scrapping like crazy with Itadori hitting that beautifully animated 10 out of 10 Black Flash. It was phenomenal. And seeing this guy just make him look like
brought XP like a bum.
His revenge and just calmly talking to him in a menacing manner, in eerie and threatening tone. And when he just says, I'm gonna kill you, bro. Well, you come back, I'm gonna kill you again. You can change your name, appearance.
I'm gonna kill you again.
I don't care. I'm gonna kill you again. And then he just
I'm gonna kill you again.
On and on about how he just end the life of any curse until his life.
That Devil May Cry 5. I gotta play that.
Leading to Mahito
I'll
just
take a gift.
run in fear. And Itadori just started walking him down, slowly gaining on him. And this guy just started crying like a baby, proper weeping like he hasn't ate in a week. And it was the perfect revenge until he reached Geto. And then he just absorbed him and now he's gone. Itadori has all the right to get back at this man. He's been doing this shit since season 1. Baiting him, mocking him, taking a piss, and just being mad passive aggressive through the whole series. And I thought it was kind of dope to see Itadori go from some cool, chill, fun-loving guy to a menace for like 5 seconds. And Mahito? On this guy, man, screw him. Also, Jujutsu Kaisen has to be the worst anime universe to ever live in. It's
unless it's Attack on Titan. JJK or Attack on Titan.
Horrible there. And if you ever go to Japan, you will die. But I'm gonna save yapping about that for another time. But these are all the characters I wanted to mention for today. If you, man, got any more people you think were right to get there, get.
I don't got no more characters, but that was W Waves video, man. Make sure to like and subscribe on the road to 200K, man. W Waves, bro. W Waves, bro. Bro, Waves been growing, bro. Waves been growing.